Hey, and welcome back to the Build It Basement. Start this one right off by saying if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Motivates me to put out more videos, and ring that bell for notification in case I do a live stream or something like that. If you guys want to catch that. Today, what I'm doing is I'm opening up some goodies. So, got a couple things yesterday in the mail for the Voron printer I'm building. So far, that's up. Motion's good. Done a couple small test prints. Had some issues, but I'll talk about that while I'm opening the new goodies. So, let's look at that. All right, fun times, fun times. Got two packages from two different vendors. One of them being partsbuilt.com. No affiliation, no freebies, no discounts, anything like that, but that's just where I ordered it. I'll tell you what that is in a second. And this little bag right here for UPS is directly from Slice. So you probably can guess what's inside the Slice bag, right? Slice of goodness. So, let's start with the not so obvious. So, clockwork and the Voron and that stuff. So, nothing wrong with the Voron or the clockwork or anything like that. It's great. It works. It's nice. But I did have an issue with my hot end. Some of you might not know, some of you do know that I decided to go with a Fetus Dragon high flow when I first ordered my parts for my Voron. I don't regret it because I tried it and, you know, educational, right? But I am and have had some issues with it, so I went ahead and I bought some parts. If I was buying parts, everybody says you should buy a Bondtech, so I bought a Bondtech. So let's take a look at that. So, Bondtech. Jelly beans. Which I might need here. 4 to 8. I've been up since about 5. So, sugar good. Whoop. Don't mind me. Do you mix your flavors or you just eat one at a time? We got little recipe cards on these. All right. Here's a Bondtech. This is the EXT LGX. This is a direct drop-in to the Afterburner with some additional prints. And in that sense, just about anything's a direct drop-in. You do some additional prints, but that's what they call it. Nice little box, nothing fancy. Inside the box, kind of nice, little sticker. A little series information, flexibles, print heads, some other stuff about the LGX specifically. Made in Sweden. Maintenance windows. So there are a few companies now that make geared extruders that are pretty decent. Bondtech is well known for a quality product all the way around and having a multitude of different products that fit different printers. So the LGX specifically is the right size and form, give or take, to fit in an Afterburner, but you may be looking at something different. This one specifically has big gears in it, which allow it to have more surface on a piece of film as it goes through. I guess the best way to describe it is you need something big and round. Okay, so if you took two wedding rings or something, do something small, so we'll make this huge scale, and you put a wire through it, like a extension cord or something. The surface actually touches those, those areas, little circles, big piece. Only have a tooth or so, but that bigger the circle, for instance, on the logo here, even though it's a round and it's 100% round all the way through, you're going to have a wider proximity of where, because you're going to deform what's going through it a little bit. So you're going to have a wider area that's actually going to make contact and bite into that piece of filament. So that's where the big gear comes in. It's a nice unit. It is a little heavy, honestly, but not overly so. It does say max current of 0.7 amp, recommended 0.45 to 0.6. The windows on either side, so you can actually see if the gears are mucked up very bad. They are machined very nicely, and there's a groove inside them. Filament feed right there, and this actually has a ratchet. There's a ratchet on the top of it, so you can actually click it. And you get a positive motion there. Tell you where you are. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Depending on what you are, depending on what you need. Obviously, you don't want to go too hard on a flexible, and you don't want to go too soft on another type of material. So you can kind of judge and kind of go exactly what you want on that, as opposed to just having a lock and having a spring. Springs are nice because they really don't require a lot of adjustment, but there again, they're not precise. They fall out pretty well. They don't. The spring doesn't fall out, obviously, but the tension on a spring over time will change. So that's what happens there. There's also a wheel on the top here that allows you to actually allows you to move your gears. So if you were inspecting this without having to take it all apart, you could turn that and take a look at all your teeth on your gears, and there are 2 of them again. So basically what you're looking at there is 2 large wheels filament down the center, as opposed to 1 small wheel and maybe another a secondary wheel that would kind of hold that against it. You have 2 wheels, and then tensioner up top. Connection on the top is a socketed connection. Come on. So you have options there to either build an extension cable or recrimp your cable that currently goes to your hot end, depending on what you have up there. Chances are you'll have to do something. It is a pancake stepper. The back of it is not recessed, so you would have to print a different, I believe you have to print a different mechanism to hold your drag chain onto that back of that. Beyond that, get into this a little bit. So the front on this is kind of what makes it kind of universal, is the front of this unit, little bottom section, actually comes off. And because of that, it allows you to install other things on there. Take those 2 screws out. And I've already printed. Set those 2 pieces aside. Don't need to see those yet. We've already printed the adapter plate for this. So the adapter plate is not only, has the holes and a groove for your tensioner if it comes down that way, but it also has these 2. It's keyed, so it has 2 areas right here, so they can hold it pretty well. You got that going for you. So basically, it prints decent. Yep. Goes on like that. And gonna screw on like that. Before I did that, probably Probably jumping the gun slightly on this. Well, I know I'm jumping the gun. He starts putting this and stuff, but kind of showing how this is more of a unboxing type thing for the Bondtech, so not the actual install of this into the Afterburner. I will do a video with that though. I'll be installing the Afterburner in the new hot end. I figured out what's in the other package. So there's what you wind up with. So you got something that looks very familiar if you've built a Voron, with larger opening right here for the feed, attachment points. So there's your Bondtech. So that's in the package. Sticker, literature. You're doing a Bowden tube setup. You have that can go on. So they give you that in the box. What else we got here? We got a couple of different screws here. We have a small piece of Bowden tube. And that's about it. So I'm going to put these things back in here so I don't lose any of it. And let's get on to the second package. All right, package number 2. Package number 2 from Slice. All right, first thing out of the package is a 50-watt heater cartridge. When you just don't have enough time to wait for that hot end to heat up. Pretty decent looking. Nice, nice. Quality. And what does it got on the side there? Hard to read with the lighting, but got some writing on there. Nice black wiring. Looks like the glass impregnated silicone. That's doubled up here on the end. So there's that. Nice. Really long leads on that. Yeah, that is huge. That's damn near enough to make it back. Interesting. Okay. Maybe something to consider. Since this is 50 watts, that is a decently heavy gauged wire. So I believe based on the length of that cable, the fact they already put crimp terminals on it, that they would like if you utilize their wiring to run it back. So we might wind up doing that. What else we got? What else we got? We've got a thermistor, 300 degrees. Warning, this temperature sensor with care. You must modify your firmware settings prior to use, and properly configured firmware can cause a fire. Marlin and Duet 3D firmware support for the Slice Engineering 300C thermistor. In your firmware settings, choose a 100K thermistor, ATC Somatic, 104NT, blah, 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 for documentation. Configure your firmware prior to use. Do not defeat the thermal runaway protection of your firmware. Avoid all warranties. Possibly cause your hot end to melt, your house to burn, or surrounding your house to burn, and everything to go bad. So, cartridge thermistor there. Pretty nice. And again, pre-crimped on leads. Or similar glass impregnated silicone. Actually, this might just be straight up fiber. It doesn't feel sticky at all like silicone does. So, yeah, little rough around the edges, not very flexible, but nice nonetheless. And last. Nope, not last. All right. Second to last, but not least, is the Slice Engineering Vanadium. I hope I'm saying that right. I am not a materials pro. Nozzle, this is 0.4 orifice nozzle. Very, very hard material. Like indestructibly hard. Air quote. But from what I understand, does not actually transfer heat very well. So, something to play with. Not cheap, but still something to play with. Oh, $30, give or take, $35 on that. Here's the last but not least, lollipops. Everybody likes little lollipops. How do we open this? Oh, no. Okay. Okay. What monkey do I look like right now? Urgh. So in order to buy Slice Engineering hotend, you have to be able to open the box. I can tell. I know no one else is going to mention this, but what they did is this is kind of corrugated on this backside right here. So there's an indent right there, actually on all the corners of the box. When they put it in, it goes in like a zip tie. So it's one way. So I don't know why they've chosen to do this, but they did for the fun of it. All right, fun times. Make you work for it. And we got 2 lollipops. What do we got for flavors here? What do we got? Orange creamsicles. Cool. Try those out. We have some hex keys. Tools. Tools nice. We have an assortment of zip ties, some screws, maybe some 3s, different sizes. And we have our mosquito. Nice. So here's the mosquito. Too shabby. Made in the USA. Patent slicing pump. 3D barcode on there. A mosquito on the side. Insertion points for both your heater cartridge and your thermistor. And 1 screw to kind of hold them both, depending on which side you go into. That screw basically is just barely grabbing the edges of both of them. So the first thing I'll say is the heater block is actually relatively small. Once you subtract out the amount of space they have in here for the actual, the heater and the thermistor, there isn't a lot of room there, and there isn't a ton of mass. When I do swap this out, I'll compare this with the Dragon. Very similar design in terms of the points coming up. So there's 5 points, 4 of them being mechanically meant to hold everything together, and 1 of them being the heat break, which really isn't meant to mechanically hold everything together. So this style is what patent kind of goes around. I don't know what the specifics are, but basically allowing you to switch out your nozzles without fear of damaging your heat break, and also allowing for the heat break to be a much thinner material and maybe a little bit more brittle. So pretty decent. I don't see anything wrong with the machining. The paint's nice. All around, actually very, very nice. Yeah. Okay. So with that, we'll get this thing buttoned up quick. I printed off the new ducting for my Voron. I'll have some links below on the STLs for these, for both this and for the Bondtech. But looks like the way this is going to work is in. It's gonna sit in there somehow. Oop, there we go. I'm gonna be backwards right now, but anyways, gonna sit in like something like that, and then you're gonna have your back cover piece that's going to also fit over everything. Snug, but be expected, right? And then in the top, you're going to have your screws going in to your duct. You're going to have these screws going in the back. Then you're going to have 2 of the screws that came in the packaging with your mosquito go into the top section here. So 1 being filament and 1 on either side for screws. So that's what that's going to look like. It's pretty nice for my build since everything's black and blue. This puts it all black. So that's a quick kind of an unboxing of those 2 things. I do have an Octopus sitting over here as well. I've not done anything with that yet. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it. I have it as a backup in case my my board on this lets loose or didn't work or anything like that. Again, from the beginning, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Really like to get this channel up to a few more subscribers, kind of plateau it off here. So if you do enjoy the content, do subscribe, please. I'm asking, you know. I'll throw more stuff up. I get stuff. I'll show you about it. I'll answer questions. I'll put it to work, and you know, maybe you'll enjoy it. Either way, I'll see you soon.